Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. In this video we're going to talk about tensor technology and incorporating tensor technology and sacred geometry tools with crystals. Okay, um, I know there's a lot of people out there that are healing practitioners using crystals. Okay, and when we think about crystals, we think of geometry, right? We think of a natural projection of energy, okay, or expression of energy in regards to crystals. And there's a number of them, right? And they all express something that is unique to that particular crystal. The way that I look at crystals and the way I use crystals here at Truly Holistic is very much like us or anything else that is in formation or in structure, which is where the word information comes from. It's all about structure and geometry. And if something is structured or geometric like that, we can place our intention in that very thing and program it, what we call programming. So, where I see crystals are powerful in the way that they give off their natural um, energy. And let's take for example, I've got a amethyst crystal here, and you know, amethyst compared to say let's say rose quartz have different effects. Okay, that they give off. Now, what the way that I like to program a crystal is the fact that it can hold that intention. Okay, and I'll talk a little bit more how we've gone to even another level in regards to, I wouldn't call it programming so much, but the aspect of anchoring an etheric template into a crystal, a bit like the way we actually use tensor technology, and we'll talk about that. And so you can place your intention in the ring, in the crystal, and it will amplify that out. So, love crystals, and this video is about using tensor technology and other tools with crystals to amplify their effect. So this is directed to people that are healers that use crystals, and not even necessarily healers, people that just at home love to have the energy of crystals in their home and utilize their benefits. So first of all, I'm gonna grab what I call the sun ring. Okay, now majority of the sun rings we sell are plated with, or gold plated. This one's platinum plated, and this is a geometric device which we call a broadcasting device. And why we call it a broadcasting device is because when we have that sun ring like that, and we place the amethyst crystal within that sun ring, it broadcasts the vibration, the frequency that this crystal is giving off, and extends its reach. Okay, so for example, with a little amethyst crystal that size, with divining or dowsing rods or a pendulum, we can figure out its reach in regards to how far that effect is given off from this particular crystal. Obviously, the bigger size the crystal, we find that it has a bigger reach, right? So, for example, let's say this crystal gave off energy about 4 feet away from itself. Okay, so obviously to feel the effects of that, ideally we'd like that to be on our person, so within our own auric field. Um, Now, another way that we can extend the effect of the amethyst crystal into a room or into a house is we use a sun ring device. So instead of 4 feet, if we place that within the sun ring, the broadcasting ring, ring, all of a sudden it amplifies that into a room or into half the house. So immediately you've amplified its ability to have a positive effect, not only in the environment but also the people within the environment. Okay, so the sun ring is very good in regards to that. Now, with this sun ring, we've created a system called the broadcasting system to associate the use of this ring. Now, this ring, the sun ring, was originated by a guy called Wayne Gatos, of his company's called Crystalline Incorporated, and which originate there in Canada. I'm pretty sure Alberta, Canada. And when you buy this ring, it's got a few instructions on the package, but it's kind of just to get you started, to be honest. And I kind of felt like this tool really has unlimited capabilities. And I thought, well, let's create a system based around this tool, which would then promote all the ways you can use this ring to its full capacity. So we made this system, and within that system, you can learn how to amplify the crystal energy, as I just shown to you on the video, but also program your crystals, the physical crystal, but also if you don't have the physical crystal, writing intention notes to bring forth the vibration, the frequency of that particular crystal if you don't have the physical crystal itself, and for the sun ring to then create that effect. Now, within that broadcasting system, we also teach you how to just use intention notes, intention with the sun ring, whether that's superfoods like cacao or goji berry, or whether that's medicinal herbs like garlic, echinacea, lion's mane, which is a medicinal mushroom, reishi mushroom, supplements such as MSM, methylsulfonylmethane, which is a sulfur compound, or proteolytic enzymes, or particular enzymes to help digest your food better. So within that system, we teach you how to use that chart, those charts with the sun ring, which comes in with an instruction booklet, but also a chart system alongside with this broadcasting tool called the sun ring, which is pretty cool because all of a sudden you become the creator through your power of intention, and this then amplifies and broadcasts that power of your intention. So you can obviously use a physical crystal, amplify the effect of the sun ring with it, but you can also, if you don't have the physical one, you can write intention notes, for example, amethyst, and you place that within the sun ring, and that would then vibrate the frequency of the amethyst. Now, another thing we can do with crystals, and we'll place this broadcasting ring to the side, is using Tensor technology. Okay, so I've got a Tensor ring here, and we use cubit measures here. Now, a cubit measure is a specific measurement, right? That might be in centimeters or millimeters. And that particular measurement, when we get copper wire and we twist the copper wire, and then we cut it to that particular cubit measurement, and then we braze and weld the ends together to create a loop, a ring, then we create an area which anchors in either a frequency or a spectrum of frequencies. Now, the main 3 cubit measures that we use in a lot of the products here at Truly Holistic bring through spectrums of frequencies. They have a very specific purpose to them. For example, this particular ring here, which we call the gateway cubit, connects whatever you place within this ring to its higher aspects of itself, which we could call higher selves, or we could call ascendants or eternal aspects of you. These are the aspects of you that are divided in a number of realities. That's why we call ourselves multidimensional. And we can swap the word dimensional for the word reality or for the word universe. So we're talking about a multiverse here. So when we use this on a person, we are then connecting that person to their variants that exist on a numerous amount of levels of existence, which that's going to bring through more wisdom, it's going to bring through more information, more knowing, more understanding, just connecting to energy, which again is then going to have an effect on your auric field. And what we find is that the higher you connect to a higher level of self, which is through on a quantum level through the heart space, because everything of us comes from the heart, then will have a profound effect on how far your auric field expands here. Your auric field is a measurement, okay? A measurement of how connected you are to your light, okay? And the more that auric field expands out, the more of your experience will resonate to your heart's desires, because your auric field is allowing your that environment to exist within that energy that comes from your heart's desire. That's why when we say we're in love, it's a great feel. It's a feeling, and it's a great feeling that nothing can go wrong, and it's just bliss. Well, we want to create a human experience where we have more of that feeling from moment to moment. So that's what these rings would have in a connection on us. But when we use crystals, it's the same thing. Okay, if we want to use water and we place water within this ring, then it connects that water to a higher aspect of itself. Okay, that doesn't exist just on this universe or this reality, but a multitude of realities or universes. Okay, and quite often it will be called Ormi or Ormus, which is orbitically rearranged molecular elements. Now, what that essentially means is that particular substance in the water, let's say the minerals in the water, are shifting out of this dimension to other dimensions. Okay, so what they find when they test the water, let's say they measure the weight of the water gets lighter because of that orbitically rearranged molecules within the water and any substance that you're going to then use when you use Tensor technology. So you can place food in, it would do the same thing. All the minerals that are within that food will connect to a multidimensional aspect of it. So when we bring this technology and we place crystals within this ring, then all of a sudden we connect these crystals to their multidimensional level of themselves. So you can see how, okay, just using crystals by themselves, wonderful way of healing. But you can see how we just amplify it to another level, right? Using these tools, right? Whether that's through a broadcasting tool like the Sun Ring, where we amplify into the room, so we extend its reach to have an effect in a room or in an environment. Also programming the crystals, even if you don't have the physical crystal, you can write intention notes of what vibration and frequency of what crystal you want, and then use the Sun Ring to broadcast that. But then also the Tensor technologies, which are connecting the substances you place within the ring to a higher level of itself, including crystals, where you're not only getting the effect of the amethyst that lies within this universe, but in a multitude of universes or a multitude of realities, and you getting the positive effects of that. Just like ourselves, right? As I said, if we connect with a quantum level through the heart, which is within, that's why meditative practice is always saying you need to work on within, right? Because that's where your universe exists. Every aspect of you exists on a quantum level through a gateway which is at the heart. The more you connect there, the more your auric field here will expand. So what does that mean then for a crystal, right? So when we use these rings, okay, and these are two different cubit measures that we use, and we put the crystals within the rings, then, which is like a column of light that you place it within, it's going to allow these crystals to connect to its multidimensional aspects of self, and it's also going to expand its ability, its reach, and its auric field as well, just like we do. So you can see how that you can just take it to a completely another level in regards to using crystals for healing. So the first one we showed was using the gateway cubit. This one here is the ascension cubit. Now that goes all the way to source, or the origin of your energy. Now how that differs to the gateway is that source is the origin of your energy, okay? And now this origin of your energy that then gets divided up. Okay, it's like your unique energy signature. It gets divided up in all these different realities. And the way I like to use it is the analogy of a tree. Picture a tree. You've got, the foliage, which are the leaves, flowers, the little branches. Then you've got the trunk of the tree. Then you've got the roots of the tree. Now, the ascension cubit is source, so that is the roots of the tree. Okay? So this is your original energy signature. Now, the gateway cubit, as I said, connects you to all your variants that exist in all the other different realities. I guess you could call this the trunk of the tree, because your source energy then gets divided up into these different realities, which are all coming off the trunk of the tree, right? So that would be the gateway. And then we have another cubit, and this is made with a thicker gauge, which we're looking at making a new set of rings out of this size, is the activation cubit. Now, the activation cubit is what gets you to the heart space, because source, or the ascension cubit, is the other end of that gateway. This end of the gateway, which is the closest to you being present here as the human, it's called the activation. And the activation would be more in regards to the analogy of a tree at the level of the branches, the foliage, and the flower, the expression of that original light. And that's the activation cubit. So when all of a sudden, when you bring those three cubit measures together, which we put those in sets on my website and my products page, then all of a sudden you place all your crystals to not only connect them to their higher levels of self, and therefore allow them to amplify their effect, which on a multi-dimensional level, but also expand their reach here, what we call the auric field for ourselves. But also through that process, it cleanses your crystals. And this is a big thing with a lot of people using crystals. They use a lot of techniques, like put it out when there's a full moon, or the moonlight, put them underground and bury them in the dirt to cleanse them. Now, when you use a tensor ring will automatically, within seconds, clear all your crystals. Okay? What tensor rings do is they anchor those frequencies in that exist on a multitude of levels, hence connect the crystal to their multidimensional aspects of self, but they also restructure any form of chaotic energy that might be within the crystal into a more harmonious energy again. So hence cleansing, clearing the crystals, so that not only don't have any negative energies within them, they're all set to be to always be powerful, to promote the best version of themselves and what they can do for healing. So wonderful using the Tensor technology with the rings. Again, there's such an emphasis on crystals and using crystals for healing, but when you start to bring it into with Tensor technology, with the sun ring in regards to the broadcasting system, then you can see how you just take it to a completely different level. Now, if anybody are interested in any of the products that I've mentioned with the Tensor rings, and again, the qubit measures that I have outlined within this video, you will not find them anywhere else. They were brought through to me through dowsing and through intuition, those particular measurements, for the purpose of ascension. And that purpose of ascension is to connect, rediscover and connect, and therefore then use that energy to have a healing and creative effect. So you'll see Tensor technology everywhere else, but the qubit measures we specifically use here at Truly Holistic, which are at a multi-dimensional level, at a multi-universal level, you will not find anywhere else. So if you're interested in those, comment below, or go to my website and go to my products page at trulyholistic.net. That's trulyholistic.net. And also you can either buy the sun ring by itself, or the broadcasting system, which comes with a whole lot of charts, dowsing charts, but also a guide booklet which teaches you, even if you're absolutely new to this and you don't know how to dowse with a pendulum or dowsing rods or even muscle testing, that guide booklet will get you started and will teach you how to do that. It'll also teach you how to use the system itself. You also get access to private videos if you're more of a visual learner, which will make them available to you too. And you've always got my guidance. You can always get in touch with me if you're having any issues with that. These are wonderful tools, wonderful systems. So go and check them also on my products page at trulyholistic.net. If you've enjoyed this video, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Push the notification bell to receive more videos like this. Till next time. Bye.